Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Going beyond, going within, in the realm of suchness, there is no duality. In the realm of suchness, there is no duality. There is a famous saying of a Zen master, Soshin. He says, in the higher realms of true suchness, there is neither self nor the other than self. When direct identification is sought, we can only say not two. All in one, one in all. If this is realized, there is no worry about being perfect. One in all in one, this is realized. No more worry about your not being perfect. Rain falls. It is said rainwater is purest. Above the earth there is atmosphere. Up to a certain elevation there is pollution, but if you go beyond that, there is no pollution. At a certain height, let's say 10,000, 11,000 feet above the Earth's atmosphere, there is pure air. But as you start coming down, maybe 1,000 feet above the Earth's elevation, the atmosphere is not pure. So suchness is that realm which is beyond mind. Mind creates duality. This is male, this is female. This is right, this is wrong. This is good, this is bad. And we continue to live in duality throughout the life. Continue to live in duality throughout the life. Is winter clothes good or summer clothes good? During summer you do not use winter clothes, you put them away. Stores put them away, and at least when winter is coming to an end, there is sale on winter clothes, so those who wants, they can buy in advance and keep it. But during the summer we put away the winter clothes, during winter we put away summer clothes. Everything has its utility in certain period of time. When you have to write something, you have to use the black and white. White on white will not show. It is the white color, white background provides the black ink pen or the blue ink pen to make the words clear, the message clear. We live in the body or the mind, but it is better to say we live in the body-mind realm, a realm which is body-mind. Whatsoever happens to the body affects the mind, and whatsoever happens to the mind affects the body. Neurological problems their effect trickles down to the body, and body responds to that. If something is said to you and you do not like, body, the shoulders shrug. If there is anything happens to the body, the mind is affected. This is how things go on. When you go beyond the body, beyond the mind, there is no duality. There is pain in your body. The mind is affected by the pain. But in order to remove the cause of the pain, an operation is to be performed. Anesthesia is given, and by administering anesthesia, you are taken beyond the body and mind, the realm where pain is not felt. It is not that pain is not there. When the operation is performed, there is in season that will pain. But when anesthesia is administered, your consciousness is altered. You are in, according to psychology, this is called altered state of consciousness. And when you reach in that state of consciousness or a state, pain is not felt. 1928 or 29, there was an operation of hernia. That time, hernia was a major operation. The king of Varanasi had to go through the operation. It was a question of life and death. But he said, operation is okay as far as that is concerned, but I do not want any anesthesia to be given. Any anesthesia to be given. Doctor said, how can the operation be performed without giving the anesthesia? So he said, that is my condition. I can agree for the operation only if anesthesia is not administered. There was a question of life and death. Doctors thought that he will die anyways. So if we perform the operation without giving the anesthesia, he may survive or he may die. So he said, do one thing, give me my Bhagavad Gita, and the moment I am absorbed into it, you will do the operation and there will be no problem. It is said that is the only operation that was performed without the anesthesia. So Bhagavad Gita was given. He got into the Bhagavad Gita completely absorbed, and it was being, when you are absorbed in your own thoughts or something, your expression, your body movement becomes very still, and it is reflected from the movement of the body. So the operation was performed. When after the operation it was inquired, did he feel the pain? He said, no, he did not feel the pain. Because by absorbing into Bhagavad Gita, his consciousness got altered. That which feels the pain, that was no more there. If there is an extreme joy in you, then the pain and other things, their intensity becomes much less. So when an individual reaches beyond the mind in a state of suchness, there is the consciousness is altered. He sees one in all and all in one. As far as we are concerned, we see there are two bookshelves, two tables, a table and a chair in the living room. How can table and chair be one? But if you go beyond the table, their physical structure, both are made from the same wood. Both have used the same tools, both have the similar material like nails, glue, etc. In order to give it a shape, the same sandpaper and the instruments were used. But according to the purpose and the use of the final product, they are looking different. You are using the same set of spices to cook different dishes. The gravy or the blend of spice is the same. But when you add it to a particular vegetable and you use the same spice blend for two different vegetables, they are known by different names, they taste differently. You can cook a vegetarian dish, you can cook a meat dish. It is the chicken or the ingredients that is used, added to the gravy. It will be known by that name. And the vegetarian dish that you have added, it will be known by not by the spice blend, by the main ingredients that is used in that. This is how, when in the process of inward journey, you go beyond duality. You cannot say the winter clothes are good or summer clothes are good. Both are good, but you do not use summer clothes in winter and winter clothes in summer. You do not eat food when you are not hungry. So there is neither self. Can you say after you have eaten that I am hungry or not hungry? Because the satiation is there. So Soshan says, in the higher realm of suchness, there is neither self nor the other than self. When direct identification is sought, there is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. We are not aliens nor as strangers join. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. That causeless force you can call God, you can call Ellen White, you can give it by any name. But it is the unifying force. When you look at the chemical structure of each metal, it is a different configuration of Same atoms, neutron, proton, electron, a different permutation and combination of these three elements that define a metal and its chemical structure and the formula, everything changes. You cannot see the wall in front of you is moving at such a tremendous speed that you cannot see the movement. To you, the wall appears to be stationary. When you start your fan with 3 blades, as long as the fan is stationary, the blades are visible. When you put on the fan, slowly and slowly blades start moving and its visibility becomes less. And when fan reaches to the full speed, the blades are not visible and it appears a different kind of environment within the frame of the fan. You think there is nothing, and if you put the finger into it, you will know that there was an obstruction. When you reach in the realm of suchness, things are moving in such a way that you cannot see the duality. You can see one merging into the other, and the process is continuing. Process is continuing. So because of this configuration, you are going beyond atoms, because beyond neutron, proton and electron, you see these as different combinations. In the same way, for the purpose of the use, we can use the left hand and the right hand. But whatsoever happens, happens beyond the left and the right hand, beyond the duality. To fly, the bird has to flap 2 of its wings. Without that, it cannot fly. You need 2 feet to walk. If you have 1 feet, your walking will not be as perfect as when it is 2 feet. 2 is necessary as far as we have to live in the world of duality. But beyond that, it is not necessary. When you write something or you see on the computer screen white background and the black writing, if somehow the other you are downloading something and you realize that you are not able to see the matter, so what you do, you change the color of the background or the color of the font in order for it to be visible. This we understand. So this distinction of the background and whatever is written on it is needed for certain practical purposes, for an understanding, for a living. If the same distinction continues between male and female, between the people of the different religious or cultural backgrounds, there will be conflict. All the religions say God is one, there is oneness. Different people are sitting in the train, different cultural backgrounds, different nationalities or maybe, but it is the train that is taking them to their destination. All the people, the male, female, different age groups, different culture backgrounds, different languages, they are all going in one train or one plane. If there remains a conflict, the two people sitting next to one another, they say that only British can sit on this seat, not person of any other nationality, there will be a chaos. But all of us understand it is the plane that is important, that is carrying us, and we are together sitting next to one another for a certain period of duration of the journey. For the duration of the journey, this division is necessary. Beyond that, there is power within that knows beyond our knowings. We are not aliens nor as strangers joined. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. Every passenger in the plane is bound together by one aircraft that is carrying them from the one destination to another. There is neither self nor the other than self. When this can happen only when there is a direct identification with the reality, with suchness. Buddha used, Zen used the word suchness. We can only say it is not the duality, does not mean the two do not exist. Beyond that, nothing can be said. To say there is oneness, two do not exist. One in all and all in one. This is realization. One in all, I am the part of the entire existence. Because according to Hindus, the body is formed with 5 elements: the earth, water, fire, ether, and sky, the space. The moment you built a room, that space that was open is bound by the 4 walls. It is known by a different name. This space, is there a difference between the space in the living room and the office, living room and the bedroom? No, space is the same. It is the decor, it is the color on the walls, it is the usage that gives a different nomenclature, a different name, a different identification. Hands are also made out of the same element. Feet are also made by the same element. Both hand and feet are necessary for sustenance of life. If one hand is severed, the efficiency is diminished. Both hands, both feet, the head, the trunk, the torso, all are important for a well-balanced human being. The blood that flows into your hands is the same that flows into your head, eyes, ears, different part of the bodies. So all one in all. The same blood, the Alan Vaite, the life force, flows into, it is the oxygen that flows, it is the blood that flows. When there is a particular combination of oxygen and blood, then the parts of the body function. So the same oneness of blood one in all. It's not that if you cut the right hand finger, the black blood will come out from the other side, the structure of the blood, the group of the blood will remain the same from whichever part of your body the blood sample is taken. One in all, and all in one. From this particular example, we can understand the same blood group flows each and every part of your body. If we call this life force the blood or Ellen White that we know as God, flows in each one of us. We call it as a causeless force. No one is creating, it is there. This is going beyond. This is realization. That the same blood flows through the entire body. Entire body is sustained by the same blood and oxygen combination. It may happen that this functioning, the mixing of the oxygen and the blood may not reach to a particular part of the body, then ailment is the ultimate result. In the same way, Soshan continues, there is no perfection, there is no imperfection. See it and see it right now. Do not come later and ask what to do and how to do it. There is no how either. The moment how comes in, you enter the realm of knowledge, and knowledge is curse. Without distorting the media of thought, you fall into unity with the whole. Without thought functioning between you and the real, all distinctions disappear. The moment thought is the pollution. When the hailstorm is there, it is the purest water. When it merges with the atmosphere of the earth, it gets polluted. Thought is that atmosphere, that pollution in the mind, just like above the earth's horizon there is dust, other gases, emissions and so, and they defile the atmosphere. In the same way, thoughts defile the atmosphere beyond the mind. They defile the atmosphere between the mind and the body. It is the thought that creates a connection between the body and the mind. As is the thought, so is the body. So will be the response of the body. If there is anger, the expression on the face will be different and your actions will be guided by that anger. The moment there is lovingness, it will be expressed from your countenance, from your face, through your eyes, through your touch, through the words that are spoken. So it is thought creates an atmosphere or environment between the mind and the body. And this atmosphere which is created by thought distorts. You fall into unity when you go beyond thought, unity with the whole. Then you realize that there is no two. How, when you go into how, it brings knowledge, and knowledge is a curse. The moment you fall into unity with the whole, there is no thought functioning between you and the whole. The moment two people hug one another. If a thought comes, immediately the warmth of the hug vanishes. A thought comes, the warmth of the touch is no more there. You may be in embrace with one another, but you are not bridged. And that is what man is hankering constantly, to be bridged with the whole. You are feeling uprooted. The moment a thought comes in, when you are in embrace with your beloved, the feeling is uprooted. Uprooted from the whole. And that becomes the cause of the misery. A thought comes in that someone has told you that your husband has done this. Immediately, the warmth is gone. You are no more bridged. But you are constantly hankering for that warmth, constantly hankering for that, the feelings, that bridge to be established between you and your beloved, you and the whole. And when it is broken, that becomes misery. You are uprooted because of this distorting media of thought. Drop this distorting media of thought. Drop those mediums. Look into reality as it is directly. No idea in your mind, with no idea of how it should be. Look with innocence. Look with not knowing. And all worries will vanish. In that disappearing of the worries, you become a Buddha. And in fact, each one of you is Buddha. But you are missing because you are carrying the distorting mediums around you. I am Hindu, I am Muslim, Christian. So many distorting mediums are there around you. I am male, I am female, I am this and that. The moment that distorting medium of thought is removed, there is oneness. You have perfect eyes, but you are wearing glasses. Those glasses are distorting, coloring, and they are making things as they are not. Through those glasses, that is what is meant when we say through the mind. Mind, the distorting medium. Go beyond the mind. Negate the mind and there will be silence. In that silence, you are nothing else but oneness, you are divine. You have never been anything else. You have always been that which you are. When Moses asked God, he said, I am that I am, and this is my name. Tattvamasi Shvetketu, you are that you are. This is one of the important the scriptural injunction, Tattvamasi Shvetketu. Prajnam Brahma. There are 4 important statements of the scriptural injunctions. Negate the mind, there is silence, and in that silence you are divine. You have never been anything other than this. You have always been that, but you have failed to recognize your strength. When you are sick, you are very healthy, you become sick, you fail to recognize your original strength. And recuperation means your original strength, your original energy comes back to you. This is what recuperation is. You come to recognize that I was this already. The realization comes back. You suddenly see the point that you were trying to put legs on the snake. There was no need in the first place. A snake is perfectly perfect without legs. He moves perfectly well. Just out of compassion, you was trying to add legs to it. If you succeed, you will kill the snake. It is fortunate that you have never succeeded. You are trying to become knowledgeable, and that is why you are losing your perception, your knowing, your capacity to see, because it is thought creates a distorting atmosphere around you, between you and the reality. Because I am a Hindu, a different distortion comes in. I am Christian, why can't be human being first? You were born not as a Hindu or a Muslim or Christian, you were born as a human. The inner sky was clear, nothing was written. And as soon as you're born, your parents, your family, your priests start writing on you to make you Hindu, to make you Christian. In order to attain, to get a driver's permit, you require a certain age. In order to have the ready to vote, you require a certain age. But to be religious, no age is needed. You are not given any opportunity for you to choose your path, your way. Immediately you are christened, you are done this ritual or that, you are made Hindu, you are made Christian, but nobody makes an effort to make you their children as human beings. Inculcate certain values which are beyond religion. Religiousness is what is most important than the religion. Religion is a noun, religiousness is the quality. There will be conflict over the name of the substance that has the capacity to quench your thirst. Someone understands it as aqua, the other understands it as water, someone understands it as jal or pani. A scientist understands it as H2O, but nobody goes by its quality to quench the thirst and its purity. The moment we emphasize on our children to give religiousness, to me religiousness is more sacred and important than the religion. Religiousness is very important. Just last night I posted something. Religion has no beginning, no end. No one has created it. This is the meaning of the Hindu word Sanatan. That which is beyond death, creation and dissolution. Who created Hindu religion? Did Krishna create it? Did Ram created the Hindu religion? Or Shiva created Hindu religion, or Vishnu created Hindu religion? Who is the propounder of a Hindu religion? All of them added their qualities to it, be it Vedavyas, he composed Mahabharata, Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. So is he the propounder of Hindu religion? No, he is not. Shiva, Krishna, Ram, none of them are the propounder of the Hindu religion. You drop Krishna out of there are people who are Shaivites, they are followers of Shiva. So that does not mean they are not religious. And by following Shiva and discarding Vishnu and others, that does not mean Hinduism is destroyed or Hinduism does not exist. Without Krishna, you can be Hindu. Without Ram, you can be Hindu. Without Vedavyas or Valmiki, you can be Hindu. You can pick up any other scripture and you can be Vedic, you can follow Shankar, you can follow anyone. But what about Christianity? You drop Jesus out of Christianity, Christianity does not exist. You drop Muhammad, remove Muhammad, Islam is gone. There is no Islam without Muhammad. There is no Sikh religion, so-called religion, without Nanak. Nanak and 10 gurus, you remove Sikh religion, it will fall apart. Kabir, there are followers of Kabir. You drop Kabir, everything is like a castle of cards and it will crumble. That which is eternal, you are eternal. You were never born, never died. You simply come into existence. You simply enter into the body, stay there for a certain period of time and dissolve. You are trying to become knowledgeable, that is why you are losing your perception, your knowing, your capacity to see. That is what I mean by putting legs on a snake. Knowing is your nature. Knowing brings innocence. Knowledge is not important. Knowledge is of the mind. Knowing is consciousness. Knowing is understanding. There is no need to have knowledge to know. In fact, knowledge is hindrance. Knowledge is the curse. Negate the knowledge and be. You are a Buddha. I am that I am. This is the name that I will be known. Moses, when asked God, how should you be known? I am that I am. This is my name in Torah. Tattvamasi Shvetketu. You are that you are. Do not try to impose something on you, and that distortion becomes knowledge. This brings understanding. This brings awareness. This is what you are, an awareness and understanding. Aham Brahmasmi, ever expanding consciousness. Ever expanding consciousness. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, there is an invitation to you for next week, Saturday. The live streaming begins 6 o'clock Trinidad time. Eastern time it is 5 o'clock in the morning. Indian time it is 3:30 IST in the afternoon. It is. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.